Hello everyone, Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhagavad Gita session. So we are in the 16th chapter. In our previous sessions, we completed up to chapter 15. So chapter 13, 14, 15, 16, they all go in sequence. Okay. Bhagavad Gita actually complete by chapter 12, and from 13 onwards, Krishna reiterates and goes in detail on various topics. So Krishna spoke about the soul, the nature of the soul, and why the soul is bound into this material existence, the cause. The soul is going into transmigration, one life to another. So, what is the cause? The cause is gunas. So, what are those gunas? Krishna spoke about gunas in 14th chapter. So, gunas are three in nature. They are mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Rajoguna, tamoguna, satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. Sattva-guna we cannot see with our eyes, but we can experience by its symptoms. So that Sattva-guna symptoms, we are calm, cool, undisturbed, peaceful state of mind. These are symptoms of Sattva-guna. Rajoguna, we are so much agitated, disturbed, multitasking, busy with many things, many pursuits. Rajoguna. Tamoguna, we are lazy, tired, sluggish, and misunderstand things. These are symptoms of tamoguna. So Krishna explains these gunas and these symptoms and also says because of these symptoms, the living entities are influenced to act in a certain way, and they do good actions, bad actions, and they entangle themselves into this material nature. And 15th chapter, Krishna compares entire material existence to be an upside down banyan tree. And Krishna also talks about that the soul living in this material existence is multiplying its existence. Just as banyan tree multiplies its existence and spreads, the soul coming into this material existence, multiplying his own existence because of unlimited desires, unlimited attachments, is getting into transmigration, one life to another, good species, bad species, good janma, bad janma, sadasya dhyunishu janmasu, right? And Krishna says one has to know about the God. When a person knows about the God, who God is, he is the one. Krishna talks about himself in 15th chapter. He is the one who is supplying everything in this existence, who is sustaining everyone and everything. From him, knowledge, remembrance. From him comes knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness, and from him comes all the necessities needed for us to survive in this life, and many things about himself. And finally says he is the one to be known, he is the one to be attached to. But if the soul attached to many material things in this world, soul has to go through transmigration. As the soul is going through transmigration from one life to another, from one species to another species, uh, from different species to human species and various species, soul is attaining, accumulating certain qualities. Certain qualities is called sampata. That's why this chapter is titled Deva Asura Sampatti Vibhaga Yoga. Deva means divine. Asura means demonic. Sampat means wealth. The soul is accumulating certain kind of wealth from many lifetimes. We see in this world also, like some kids are like by born, certain kids are very demonic, very demonic. Where are those demonic qualities coming from? It is all coming from previous lifetime, many previous lifetimes. So that means soul has been carrying these divine qualities, demonic qualities from many lifetimes. And human life is an opportunity to learn what's going on with our life, and it's an opportunity to correct and proceed in the path of uh, divine life. When we are divine, by studying scriptures, we can elevate from, even though we may be demonic, we can elevate to be divine. So Krishna delineates and shows the differences here. So what are the qualities of a divine? Gives a big list here. We'll go through this list and we'll try to understand what it really means. Okay. And how to cultivate. We may not be divine, but how to cultivate these divine qualities, we'll see that today in our session. So big 26 number list of divine qualities. This sampatha belongs to the person who is born with divine qualities, who is endowed with, born with divine qualities. That means he has done some divine, He has learned to be divine in previous lifetime, and he is divine in this lifetime also. Hmm? And Krishna gives another list of demonic natures, demonic qualities, Asuri Sampada, and this soul has accumulated so much Asuri Sampada, hmm, demonic qualities, pride, arrogance, harshness, creating problems to others. Big list here. No cleanliness, no discipline. So all these demonic qualities. And he doesn't believe in God. He thinks that the creation is nothing but a union between a man and woman, and that's how creation comes into existence. He never believes in the God, and he lives a life which is destructive, harmful to himself and everybody. Mm. And Krishna also gives a activities, what kind of activities they do, the demonic people. So their desires are endless. They're chasing for sense gratification. This gives me happiness. This gives me happiness. That gives me happiness. Running behind things and thinking like this much wealth I have, I accumulate more in this lifetime. I'm the king of the world. I'm the enjoyer. And they boast themselves of, so they're not even qualified, but they boast themselves so much. They don't even have the things. So these are the demonic natures. And most importantly, three things one has to be watchful of: lust, greed, and anger. Krishna says lust, greed, and anger are the three gates to hell. They take directly to hell. So one has to know this and work on it and try to close these gates with our own strength or by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So one may say, Krishna, how can I know? Uh, I'm living a life in a certain way. I don't know I'm demonic or divine. Where can I learn to be divine? I want to purify myself. I want to be divine. How can I learn that? Hmm? Where can I learn that? Krishna talks about that. Krishna says that you learn scriptures, study scriptures. The scriptures are meant for you to elevate your consciousness. There are many scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana. You can see in the Mahabharata, we can see divine people, demonic people, like the Duryodhana and Party. They are so demonic, and we can see their lifestyle, how they were demonic. And Yudhishthira and Party, they are so divine people. So by studying scriptures, by learning the things, by learning about them, so we can clearly understand. And more importantly, by taking shelter of the Lord, by gaining Satvika Guna, by trying to cult Satvika Guna, one can be divine. So we'll see that as we go. So this is a high level overview of this chapter, and we'll get into the verse. So there are many words, but the essence of this chapter, what Krishna is saying in this chapter is follow scriptures. Follow scriptures, cultivate knowledge, and rise from demonic to divine. Why? To attain liberation. No. So only the humans who have divine natures can attain to liberation. God doesn't want a demonic people in his realm. Okay. So Krishna also says in this chapter, he perpetuates, he puts them, he repeatedly casts them into demonic species of life. If a person lives a demonic way of life, he will be more and more demonic in future lifetimes. So I mean, this is very, very important for us. We can see this chapter is like a mirror. We can see ourselves, what kind of life we are going through, and try to learn something and apply something in our life. Okay, these are the first three verses. We'll see Krishna talks about everything about divine qualities, and later all the verses about demonic, about demonic only. So I'll ask someone to read this.
श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिर्ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधस्त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्व अलोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम् तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature.
Thank you, bro. So this is a checklist of the Supreme Lord. God is giving the checklist. Right? If you are applying for a visa, there is a checklist, certain things we have to take. Okay, then they'll look at our papers and they'll say, yeah, they are good. Right? So there is a checklist to be followed in anything we do. Right? Krishna is giving the checklist for us to attain him. To attain him. Hmm? So Bhavati, this big list plus Krishna concludes this Bhavati Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. Abhijatasya. This Sampada, what kind of Sampada? Devi Sampada. The wealth of a divine person, a person who is who has divine nature. Abhijatasya. The soul is born with some qualities. The soul takes birth. We can see certain people are born with good qualities, divine qualities. Some people are born with demonic qualities, or some people are a mix of some ranges of divine and demonic qualities. Krishna is talking about a person. There are some people who cultivate good qualities, divine qualities. They are born with the divine qualities, and these are the qualities. This is a checklist. How we can see ourselves in this checklist and check ourselves. And we'll go in little detail and understand what are these qualities, how to cultivate, what is the right way to understand these qualities one by one. Okay. The first thing Krishna says, Abhayam, fearlessness. The person who is divine is fearless. Fearless. So, what is that fearlessness? Hmm? That means if that person is in front of a tiger and tiger is ready to make him a meal, ready to eat him, chew him off, this person is still standing, thinking like I'm divine and this lion can do nothing to me. Let him eat it. That lion will make a meal of him, right? So fearlessness is not that kind of fearlessness. Fear. What is fear? Fear is a natural emotion that comes in anticipation of some danger, some unknown thing. It's a natural emotion. It's a naturally it happens. It's a natural emotion. Mm. And this so-called fear also a big blocker. Okay, so certain things we are unknown of certain things. Uh, uh, Something bad gonna happen to me. Many unknowns, yeah? And we are sometimes fearful of those things, right? So Krishna says a divine person is the one who is fearless, fearless of unknowns happening, unknown. What are the unknowns going to happen in his life? How? By cultivating this principle, that is being fully dependent on the Lord. Okay. So examples, this we can see in this world, like if we were to do some project or we were to go and talk, get on a stage and give a lecture to hundreds of people, there's some kind of fear happens naturally to us, right? Yeah. And this fear is a big blocker for our success. If you were to go to an interview and do the interview, if you were to take interview or give interview, and start a begin a new project or many things, there are many unknowns in their life, and naturally our heart pumps and some fear comes into our mind and totally blocks our thinking process, blocks our abilities to succeed in our life. So this fear is a one, that is fear of unknown things, fear of what others think about me. So these kind of things, Krishna says, or scripture says, or great Acharya says that if a person is fully dependent on the God, Krishna, you have my shelter. Okay, I can do it for you. Okay, I'm not fearful. That's it. Okay, if a person has this consciousness by fully being dependent on the Lord, he can do anything. There is no fear. Yes, fear happens. Yes, we do. If I need to go and give a lecture to thousands of people, like, a slight fear may come, right? Krishna, I'm doing it for you. Krishna, I'm doing it for you. You make me eligible to do that. Make me qualified or eligible. Help me to do that task. That's it. Right? The fear instantly when we replace this thought, the dependency on the Lord, bringing God in our consciousness, we can do anything. We can achieve anything in this world. We can achieve anything in this world. Mm. If you're starting a new business, or going to an interview, or going to someone or going to an interview, what will happen to me? Oh, that thing, this thing, right? So Krishna, I tried my best. I leave the rest to you. Right? So as always, we are bringing God into our mind and fully depending on the Lord. We do our best. We still do our best and having a dependency on the Lord, because there are many unknowns. We have no idea what will happen. So with the dependency on the Lord, this so-called fear can be removed, and and we can strive to do many things easily. So we can see example of Hanuman. Hanuman was ready to leap ocean. He was there. He was thinking, and he was ready to leap. And how he completed his task, how he was able to do his task, is fully dependent on Allah. My Rama will help me. I'm doing this task as a service to my Rama. Let my Rama help me. Right? And that's it. So he was not even fearful. Some kind of thought comes: Can I do? Will I do? Am I qualified to do? All those things will be removed when we have the dependence on the Lord. My God will help me. Hmm. Srila Prabhupada also, when he was Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, when he was coming to St. Louis, not coming to US, he came to US, and he was also thinking like how I will be able to preach this message of the Supreme Lord to everybody. Hmm. Then he immediately shifted his mind like, it's Krishna, help me. I'm just a puppet in the hands of Krishna, and let Krishna drive me. Make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. Right? So certain things we do our best and leave certain unknowns to the Supreme Lord, and that way we can be fearless. So Krishna's saying that is a fearless is one of the divine quality one must cultivate. Okay. We'll try. We may not be there yet. We'll try. So second thing is sattva samsudhir, purification of one's existence, purification of mind, purification of existence. So this is one of the Devi Sampada. Devi Sampada. So humans can live however they want, do whatever they want, and eat whatever they want, drink whatever they want, be with whomever they want. Right? But there are some things to be followed, that makes a person a divine person. If you do whatever we want, then there are other species also doing whatever they want, right? So how human life is different from other species of life. We're following dharma, the rules and regulations of existence. So one has to strive towards purifying every day. Every day is an opportunity to purify ourselves, purify this mind, purify our existence. How? Hmm? So by cultivating satvika guna, by cultivating sattva guna. We know what is sattva guna. Sattva guna is a mode of goodness. We studied that very well in detail in 14th chapter. So cultivating sattva guna, sattva guna will be gained by eating sattvic food, the food which is in the mode of goodness. The food which is not too spicy, not too pungent, not too bitter. So the food is a sattvic food, that which can be offered to the Supreme Lord. Is a sattvic guna. Eating sattvic food which purifies our consciousness, stabilizes our mind, stabilizes our thought process, and taking sattvic content. It's also important to what kind of content is going into our mind. What kind of content is going into our mind. We watch movies or watch things, and there's so much media in YouTube, Facebook, every day, so much content going in our mind. Uh, so it's important to bring sattvic content in our mind. So there is a principle called go-go principle. Go-go principle. It's not good in, good out. Huh? Good in, good out. If you bad in, bad out. Bobo, go, go, pencil. Okay? If you bring good into our mind, through eating, through the senses, bring good into our mind, good into our consciousness, then we'll be good outside also. Our actions will be good, our thoughts will be good, our actions will be good, our words will be good, our speech will be good, our actions, our dealings with other people will be good. mm. Then we are totally sattvic, sattvic, right? One person asked me, like, if a person is cultivating sattvic life, that person becomes dumb. No, no, he's not dumb, but he knows a way of life. What is the right way of living? Okay, so purification of one's existence is one of the divine quality one must cultivate by uh, cultivating living a sattvic life, living a sattvic life. Okay, so as per scriptures, there are four regulative principles one must avoid that makes one more tamasic. Okay, four regulative principles one must avoid. If a person is not avoiding, he'll be becoming more and more tamasic. So what are those? Okay, as per scriptures. So meat eating, killing animals and eating the flesh of the animals, right? So meat eating, it makes one demonic, demonic. One loses his sattvic nature. It more tamasic, becomes more and more tamasic. And intoxication. If a person is intoxicating through alcohol or cigarettes or whatever the means, a person is intoxicating. That is also a big blocker for spiritual progress. One has to stay away from intoxication. mm, and that intoxication makes a person tamasic. And meeting intoxication, illicit relationship with other gender. mm, Illicit relationship with other gender, so that also makes a person tamasic, degrade himself. Another person just degrading himself. mm, and and gambling. If a person is gambling and cheating others, and that is also a tamasic guna, and he is becoming more and more tamasic. So one has to stay away from this. No meat eating, no illicit relation, no gambling, uh, uh, and what is it? No meat eating, no illicit relation, no gambling, and no illicit, no intoxication, no intoxication. So these are the four regulatory principles one has to stay away from. Uh, then he's following a dharmic life. Scripture says if a person is doing all these things, then he's not dharmic. Eating meat and he's intoxicating and he's gambling and he's having illicit relationship with other women, other gender, right? So which is against dharma. So these are all adharmic activities. One must be staying away. So if a person lives a dharmic life, then the purity in life comes. When the purity in life comes, there's a beginning, very beginning. That's a dawn of a purity of life. If a person strictly follows these regulative principles, these are Vaishnava principles. If a person is a Vaishnava, he'll be following all these principles. It's a must follow. So, human life is an opportunity to uh, make ourselves pure. hmm? Purity in habits, purity in eating habits, purity in living habits, purity in habits to bring that wide varieties of data in our mind and consciousness. If we live a pure life, then our existence will be pure, our mind will be pure. Okay, we'll move on. Next is third one. Krishna says, Gnana Yoga Vyavastha, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Okay, Gnana Yoga. And again, so what are the different ways to gain knowledge? There is so much content, knowledge everywhere about sports, movies, politicians, and many subject matters. So, what is that knowledge that helps us? What is the knowledge that helps us to attain liberation? Simple. If we don't have the goal of attaining liberation, we can do whatever we want. But if you have the goal of attaining liberation, you have to focus on what is the knowledge that helps me. Hmm? So, learning Bhagavad Gita and scriptures and gaining a knowledge, understanding ourselves. Okay, I'm not this body, I'm soul, understanding various subject matters. Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke about five topics, right? Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, about the soul. Sorry, I'm gonna mute Miraji. Hmm. About the soul, material nature, about the God, and Many things Krishna spoke. So, cultivation of a knowledge is also one of the divine quality one must work towards. That makes a person divine. Next, charity, dhanam, charity. So why charity? Krishna talks about these particular certain things. Krishna takes these qualities and goes and explains in detail what is charity, why we have to do charity, what is the right way to do charity, and whom to give charity. So many things in detail. We'll see that in upcoming chapters. So why charity? So charity, it is said that charity purifies the soul. Yajna dhana tapa karma pavanani manishnaha. Yajna dhana tapa karma pavanani manishnaha. All these activities purify the soul, purifies the mind, purifies the consciousness. Okay, so we are always in this I and my mindset, right? So I'm going to office, I'm working, I'm gaining this money, I'm gaining this money with my own strength, and this money belongs to me. This money belongs to me, and we are always in this mind. I and my consciousness. This house belongs to me. This thing belongs to me. That thing belongs to me. I own it. I possess it. I enjoy it. So all this is I and my consciousness. So scriptures prescribe these things, right? So that is dana. One of the thing is dana. One has to learn to donate, give in charity. Whatever he has, just to give. If a person starts giving in charity, he'll come out of this I and my consciousness. So, what is the right way to give? Krishna talks about in detail in chapters. We'll see upcoming chapter. So, the charity must be given to the right person. The item giving in charity has to be right, and that also has to be earned in a right way. It has to be earned in a right way, and charity must be given a right time and with the right mindset. Right. So then the charity will be beneficial. Okay. So charity doesn't mean I'll take a liquor bottle and alcohol and give it to the person on the street and say like, "Yo, drink this, be happy." I'm so charitable person. I'm donating alcohol to the person. What kind of charity is that? The charity doesn't help. That doesn't help that person. Doesn't help me either. Right? So that's a tamasic charity. It's a useless charity. Right? If I'm donating alcohol to the person and making me more and more demonic and more alcoholic, so that's not a good charity. Mm. And also charity should be given. It should be given. So that should help. That should help others. So I cannot take my all the things which are unusable things which are in my basement, garage, and useless things and give like throw away, and these are of no use to others. That is also not the right way. We can give it. It's a donation. If someone uses it, it's good, right? So it has to be usable. If and I can give money. Money is kind of usable. Things is usable. If those are usable to others, it's also a good charity. Hmm? And to the right person, the person who's taking also has to be good person, has to be he can make use of the things we are giving to him. And more importantly, Krishna says one has to give the charity with the proper mindset. So this charity is good, but it also creates karma, right? If you're doing good things, it's a law of karma, right? If you're doing good things, good activities, it creates good karma. So some may say good karma is good, right? Yes, good karma is good, but for to attain liberation, we don't want any karma. We don't want good karma, we don't want bad karma. If you have good karma, then we'll be given nice facilities. If a person wants next life to be so upcoming life, you don't know what kind of life he one gets, but in future life, if a person wants his life to be full of riches, then he has to think about like doing some donations and all the things, charitable activities, volunteering activities, selfless activities. Then he'll attain good credits. Because of good credits, next lifetime he'll be given good facilities. No money problem, no job problem, no problem in anything he does. Right? So that's why scriptures prescribe for a person to do the charitable things. If a person donates and do charitable things, this help a person to purify his existence. Okay, but again, as I said, this charity is also creates good karma. Okay, if I'm donating water to the poor people who are in needy, is that's good, that creates good karma. But if I need to do with right mindset, if I do with a mindset like I'm doing this so that my name will be written on the papers and newspaper with some personal motive, then the charity is of no use. That creates good karma, but that wouldn't help me. But for a person to attain liberation, he has to give the charity, whatever the charity he wants to give, still do that with proper mindset. I'm doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. Simple. I don't expect anything in return. I'm just doing it for the sake of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. That's it. The transaction ended. So all these actions are transactions basically. So if you're doing some charitable things, these are transactions. It will come back. We don't want any results to come back. We do it for the pleasure of the Lord. That's it. No expectations. So that's the thing. There is so much about charity. Krishna also explains about charity in detail in upcoming later chapters. Okay, so we covered fearlessness, purification of existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, and charity. And next thing Krishna goes Dhamma, controlling of mind and senses. Controlling of mind and senses is also one of the divine quality. Mm. Being a human, it comes with a responsibility to live a sattvic life and have a good control of mind and senses. We can't let mind and senses wander and do whatever we want. We could do, but the human life is meant for a purpose. We live a rightful life by having good control of mind and senses. So Krishna talks about this in sixth chapter. Wherever the mind goes, bring it back. Wherever the mind goes, bring it back. Try to control your mind, try to control your senses. Hmm? Arjuna also says it's hard for me, Krishna. Chanchalam mana Krishna pramati dridavatam. Chanchalam mana Krishna. It's always flickering. Mind is flickering. Pramati. It creates miseries. It pulls me towards bad things. Makes me do bad things. Pramati dridavatam. It's so. Uh, uh, it's always pulls me and it doesn't let me come back. So obstinate. The mind is so obstinate. So yes, Krishna, what is the thing Krishna said? You can control. Don't think you cannot control. You can control. You need sadhana. Practice. Practice. By the practice, you can control. Yeah, can I control the mind? Can I control my mind and senses with my own strength, my own abilities? I do meditation, I do chanting. Yes, we can. But we need a causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord also. The practices of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna explains, right, in middle sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. By doing, by bringing God in our consciousness. So we may struggle in meditative practices with our own strength, meditating on our own self. That is really hard. One may do, but when we bring God in our mind, God in our consciousness, the meditation becomes so easy. Hmm? Yeah, that means we are by bringing God in our mind, God in our consciousness, we are spiritualizing the mind, spiritualizing our senses. So we talked about how to spiritualize the senses, right? The sense of vision, see the things, everything about the God, the beautiful form of the Lord, the movie of the Lord, and hear about the Lord, the so-called sense of hearing. They like to hear all unnecessary things, makes us pull us towards unnecessary things. When we hear the holy name of the Lord, when we hear the holy messages of the Lord, Bhagavad Gita of the Lord, all the senses can be naturally controlled. The sense of taste is another thing. It pulls us towards tasting delicious many delicacies in this world when it is fed with spiritual food. Then the hankering to taste the things unnecessarily eating, overloading, which naturally will go away. So these senses and mind, these are hard to control, but yes, this can be controlled by spiritualizing this. Okay. And we'll move on. Next one is six. I know this is a big list. Already, you may say, like, already my life is so complicated, so many things going on in my life, and you're giving me this big list. How can I work towards? Yes, it's not hard. We may not, if we are not aware, we can learn and we can do something. Mm. Take a baby step and work towards what Krishna is saying. It's Krishna's checklist. It's God checklist, not my checklist. It's God's checklist Krishna is giving. So we'll try to check as much as possible. We'll try our best to check as much as possible in this checklist given by Krishna. Okay, so the sixth one, sacrifice. Sacrifice. So this is another thing. Okay, yajna dana tapa karma pavanani manishna. So dana, like just like charity, purifies the soul. This sacrifice, being living a sacrificial life of sacrifice, a selfless life, is also purifies the soul. Living a selfless life. All the time we live a selfish life, right? What I get, मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What I do this, what I will get out of it. Right? I'll do this or what I'll get out of it. I'll help you, will you help me back? Huh? You are my friend, will you help me back? Then only I will be your friend. It's a transactional. All our life is all transactional. Or we may not selflessly help others, right? So, I mean, there are some good people, they selflessly do live a selfless life, uh, but sometimes we may not be. There are many people who are not, right? So Krishna says live a life of sacrifice. Live a selfless life. So that purifies the soul. This all is again, like, just like dhanam, donation, makes us come out of I and my mindset. This yagna, sacrifice, also help us come out of this I and my mindset. I and my mindset, right? When I live a selfless life, I selflessly help others. I selflessly do some volunteering services. I go to temple and do some volunteering services without expectation. No expectation. It's a sacrifice. I'm selflessly helping them. So these are must. These are must for us. For a grihastha, at least, if a person is living a householder life, this selfless service is a must. Mm. Whatever the abilities we have, we can selflessly serve others. Mm. In the scriptures, I'll tell you some nice things here. Okay, some again philosophical things. You may say philosophy is boring, gives headache, but the things we must learn because they're all coming from Vedic scriptures. If a person takes birth, as a soul takes birth, he's obligated to perform certain things. He's obligated to perform certain things. Why the obligation? Because we are indebted to certain things, certain people, okay, certain group of things. So what is that? So these are Panchamahagya Yagna. One has to do Panchamahayagna. So I'm living a life. Huh? Various things are supplied to me. Light, fire, and food is being supplied to me. Who is supplying that? There are demigods, there are celestial beings who are working under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. They are supplying. So we are indebted to them. Krishna talks about in third chapter. We are indebted to the devas who are supplying all these things. Nothing is coming for free. Just as like we pay taxes yearly. Hmm? And because I mean, and we buy it also, we pay taxes. Nothing comes for free. We have to pay back. We have to pay back. Even though we are earning money, we have to pay back to government so that the government can use it for right purpose. So that is the reason. So just like tax thing, so we have to pay back. We are obligated to pay back to devatas. Hmm, Devatas. So I'll talk about in detail why is that. But and Pitrus, the ancestors or forefathers, because of their they because of them, I got my birth. I have an obligation towards them. Hmm. And I have an obligation. A soul has an obligation, right? I have an obligation. Soul has an obligation. The soul also has an obligation towards sages. The many sages who have written the scriptures was given to us, because of them they have established the right way of living. And we are indebted to sages. We are indebted to devas. We are indebted to our forefathers. We are indebted to sages, and we are also indebted to other human beings. There are many human beings. They help me to be successful in this life. I'm indebted to my friends, my neighbors, my family members, my relatives. uh, that debt also there. And bhuta yagna, other living entities. I'm taking the food of the cow is giving the milk. I'm drinking the milk. The milk actually is for the cows, but I'm taking the milk. I'm indebted to the cow. So like we are indebted to other living beings also. Because we are taking from them, we are indebted to them. So how do we pay off? How do we pay off? So this is a big debt we have to pay off. So that's why one has to pay off by they're paying off by doing various things. But simple thing is Nama Sankirtana Yagna. We cannot go back and do various homas and pujas for the devatas, and we can't go back, and the people who helped us, we can't go back and help them, relatives, many things, right? So it is said in simple, in short, if you do Nama Sankirtana Yagna, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, pleasing the Lord. When we do the activities that please the Lord, offer the food to the Lord. It's like if you take a big tree, when you water the root of the tree, entire tree is nourished. Entire tree is nourished. We don't have to go and water the leaf and twigs and everything, right? If you water the tree, entire tree is nourished. If you water the roots of the tree, entire tree is nourished. Similarly, when we be conscious of the Supreme Lord and we offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. When we offer prayers to the Supreme Lord, practice devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. When we pray to the one absolute truth, who is the root of everything, Lord Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. If He is pleased, everyone is pleased. That's how we pay off our debts to many things in this world. Okay, so that is also important. That's the thing. So one may think, what will I get by practicing spirituality, right? Yes, practicing spirituality by pleasing the Supreme Lord, we are purifying ourselves, and we are also clearing our debt. We are indebted to many things in this world, and we are clearing our debt by being God consciousness, by offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. So there's so much about yagna. Okay, I know this is too much information. Hmm. If you're in person, I could have done some activities, but I mean, yeah, Zoom, you just listen, I just speak. Okay. Swadhyaya, study of Vedas. So, again, as a, being human, there's another responsibility on each of and every one of us, every soul, that to learn, reflect upon ourselves, self-improvement, and study scriptures, swadhyaya, introspect what's going in my life, and learn things that benefits us. Every we can study Ramayana, we can see divine people, demonic people from Ramayana. You can see many demonic people, their activities, how they talk, how they speak, how they live their life, what kind of activities they do. We in Mahabharata is a full, it's a wonderful literature. We can see all the demonic people, divine people, their activities, their dealings. So we can learn from them. I don't want to be like demonic people, right? I don't want to be a Duryodhana. If you hear about Duryodhana, his activities, his actions, how he is envious of other Pandavas, we will get a awareness that I don't want to be that person. Right? So that's another reason it's important to spend some time, some time to do swadhyaya, study of scriptures. Right? So we are so much busy with so many things, and a person who is practicing Sanatana Dharma, it is also prescribed, recommended. It's a must for a person to study scriptures and purify his existence. Next one is tapa. Tapa, austerity. Austerity. What is austerity? Austerity is simple meaning is taking some inconveniences for higher cause. Right? So you may be on the Zoom call for the past 1 hour. So much, maybe so much not so pleasing, not so convenient to hear. It may be boring, and you're still hearing, want to hear because it helps you. It helps you, right? So it's like austerity. It's a tapas. It's a tapas. We are all doing this tapas. We are all doing this yajna. We are all doing this tapas. Together, we are doing this tapas. Right? So if a child also doesn't want to go to school, but we make the child to go to school, it's a tapas, it's an austerity that helps the child, right? So the tapas is another thing, very important for any person. For any person, tapas is a must to, like, uh, and it's like no pain, no gain. We heard this a lot, right? No pain, no gain. If voluntary takes some pain, there is a higher gain. Hmm. So what are the things I can do to, what are the austerities I can do to make myself a divine? Tapas is also a divine nature. Only a person who is divine can do the tapas. It's very important thing. If a person is demonic, he's never austere. He's never austere. He never risk himself. He never give pain to his body. Right? So there are certain pains we have to give to our body by doing tapas. Hmm. There are certain tapas, many tapas given in scriptures. One has to fast in certain days, like Ekadashi fasting. One has to do, and if we have a time frame of after if we leave the sleeping hours, there is a time frame. There is a time frame to do swadhyaya, learn the scriptures. There is a time frame we can fit in some time for ourselves to meditation, meditate on the Supreme Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord. So people who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they chant the holy name of the Lord for like certain number, 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mala we do. These are all tapas. They purifies the soul. So and attending the lectures, classes, and everything. These are all makes a person divine. Only a divine can do this. You're all sitting and listening to this. We all have this tapas. We are all divine. It is because of we are having this divine nature. We are able to uh, uh, come and hear about Krishna. So we are divine. We should be proud of. We are divine. Arjavam, being simple. Many things Krishna said. These are all the checklist. So Arjavam. If I talk before I go there, if I talk about nice things and many things to discuss in this world, many things to discuss. Those are so pleasing to hear. So much enriching. I can see some participants, they come and they may not like to hear these things. They just go off. They just leave. Right? It's not so pleasing. But if I talk about many politics or many another subject matters which are so pleasing to hear and so entertaining to hear, there is a natural interest for some people, right? So but it's an austerity. I know these certain things are so hard to take. So hard to take. If you still take it, it's a tapas. So these are checklist Krishna is giving. So we'll try to learn. Yeah, I'm going to come to end. I'm going to speed up a little bit. So simplicity, being simple and straightforward in our dealings, without duplicity. Some people we see like they speak something, and internally their mind, their heart is something else, right? So it's because of rajas, mode of passion, mode of tamas. And if a person who is sadhik, living a sadhik life, is simple, straightforward in his dealings. Ahimsa, ahimsa, non-violent. A person who is divine, he is non-violent. Krishna is saying, he's not violent in his words. He's not harsh in his word. He's not harsh in his actions. Uh, Especially with the devotees of the Lord, it's very very important. If you are dealing with the devotees, better don't risk by criticizing them or hurting them, because God personally protects the devotees. God personally protects the devotees of the Lord who take shelter of the Lord. Better don't mess up with them. One should be stay away from being violent to the devotees, even especially that is devotees, but in general, even to anybody, dealings in our daily life, we are with our family members and with our many things. mm, we should be non-violent in mind, words, and actions. The question comes: is violent bad thing? Being violent, Krishna. And Arjuna had the same doubt. Should I fight? Should I be violent or not? Hmm. Krishna says, yes, yes, you do this because this is your duty. Okay, if a person's duty, if it is his dharma, yes, he can be violent, he can be harsh with mind, words, and actions to people. Yes, that is needed. That is, if I need to discipline my child, I need to be harsh sometimes. Yes, that is my dharma. That is my dharma. That's good. No problem at all. No problem at all. If it is my dharma, hmm, then yes, that's no, nothing wrong. Even Arjuna killed many people. Arjuna killed. Even Krishna himself, God was physically present, and he was enlightening Arjuna to do this killing, to kill, to annihilate them, and to punish them. In other words, to punish them. Right? So, when because he's a kshatriya, he's like a soldier. Right? If he doesn't kill, then there will be, the demonic people will be more and more demonic. So, Arjuna, Krishna himself enforced Arjuna to do his duty. To do his duty. The duty involves violence. Krishna is, yes, that is your dharma. Being a soldier, you are a soldier, you have to punish it. That's a dharma, right? So that's the same thing. Hmm? And if it is not our dharma, if you're not in the role, then it is better not to be harsh in mind, words, and actions. Okay. And two more things. Please be patient. We'll be done. Satyam, truthfulness, truthfulness. So one, it is said in scriptures again that I will say this: the truthfulness is also one of the divine quality. Only the person who is divine, he knows right way to be truthful. He is truthful. He is truthful. Okay. So truthful can be seen in two things. One is being honest in our dealings, in our actions. Other thing is speaking truth, speaking truth. One has to speak truth all the time, as much possible. If me speaking truth hurts someone, then it is better to not speak the truth. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. If it is not pleasing, if I know that person has some disease like cancer, and if I go and tell like, hey buddy, you have a cancer, you'll die next day. That's not so pleasing. But I need to speak truth. If he's asking me, tell me. It is not pleasing for him to hear. It's better not to speak truth. And scriptures say like, yes, no problem in lying. Okay, certain situations we can lie, no problem, right? So again, this time, place, circumstances, one has to speak truth, and then being honest with our words and actions to being truthful. This is one of the divine quality. Okay, we'll move on. So freedom, akrodaha, freedom from anger. Hmm? So we can see this so-called anger pollutes the mind and consciousness, totally disturbs us, makes us mad. Uh, uh, Anger, the so-called emotion of anger, it's so harmful to our body, physical body, not 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 subtle body, the physical body. Our heart pumps when we are too angry. Heart pumps, and it damages our cells and many things. It's not good. The episodes of anger are, it's definitely not good, right? um, and this anger must be controlled. Anger must be controlled. So one has to, yes, provocations happen. One has to, if a person lives a sattvic guna, lives a sattvic life, then yes, then the episodes of anger can be controlled easily. And the question comes: is anger bad or good? Is anger bad or good? So, anger itself is not bad. Yes, it's a natural emotion. If I need to punish my child, or I need to be, if my child is doing something wrong, I need to be angry. No doubt about it. I need to be angry. I need to take action because it's my dharma to do it. Right. So anger in itself not bad. There is a good side of anger. That's good. So the bad side of anger, if I'm going really out of control and hitting and punching my child, that's really bad, right? So there's a bad side of anger. Right? Sometimes we get carried away by so-called rajas and tamas in the, in the act of disciplining my child. I'll go mad and become violent, more and more violent. So the people cannot control their emotion of anger. So that is bad. That's a bad side of anger. Okay. So we just covered 12. There are 26. There are 26. The big checklist Krishna is giving. It's a nice checklist. So um, thank you all for patiently listening. If you have any questions or thoughts, we can take now. And we'll continue these other qualities in upcoming sessions. Thank you. Hare Krishna.